300 Entertainment, the home of Megan Thee Stallion, would like to congratulate Megan Thee Stallion on her recent BET Award.
This portion of the Miss Jones in the Morning reunion show is brought to you by hashtag photos. From weddings to private events, let hashtag photos elevate your next event with the all-new Mirror X interactive smart photo booth. Mention Jonesy in the Morning and receive the VIP red carpet experience. For more information, visit www.hashtagphotos.com. That's the word hashtag FOTOZ.com.
This portion of the Miss Jones in the Morning Show reunion is brought to you by our friends at Sarah Brown Caterers. With their new location in Oak Bluffs, Martha's Vineyard, you can make a reservation now. Go swim, enjoy the island, and come back for a catered meal. Plan for your friends. They'll cook and cater for you. The information's right before you. Sarah Brown Caterers.
The Miss Jones in the Morning reunion show is also brought to you by Havoc and Mayhem, the new best-selling book by Derrick Bonner. Available now at Amazon and other major bookstores.
Hello, lovies, lovies, lovies. Welcome to the Christmas edition of what was only supposed to be, 5 episodes, 5 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
And look at us. And then there were 2. And not the 2 you, right, and not the 2 you expected, but I just want to say thank you to everyone that's shown us love, everyone that has supported, even those that don't necessarily say positive things. The fact that you watching, bitch, says it all. You're not created the game. Well, this social media portion of it. So I thank you. I appreciate you all. I hope you all have a happy, healthy, safe vacation or holiday or whatever it's going to be for you. And I wish the same for us, Research.
Amen.
So I'm going to get into the show. I want to thank all of our sponsors. Our newest sponsor is actually an author by the name of Derrick Bonner. He has a book. He's going to be joining us today. So I wanted to get into it because the book is about New York back in like the 80s scene. And I said, you might as well just come on because one, I'm not going to have time to finish it. And we got to get the podcast going in a couple of days. So he'll be joining us shortly. So the first order of business is thank you so much to everybody that bought tickets for Sunday's show at the Stress Factory, where the Miss Jones Band is set to perform. But I had to cancel because I was exposed to the cove. Got an email from Che's wrestling coach that he tested positive. And we was with that to go all day Saturday, getting trophies and medals and winning and spinning and spinning and spinning. And while we were masked up, it probably should not have even been allowed to happen because it was way too many people in there. There was no social distancing. There was no mask mandate. You know, we masked ourselves, but still. So I don't know, but I know one thing. I am not selfish enough to need to be on a stage and put people in jeopardy. So to that end,
thing to do for now.
Right. Who knew? I had great intention. And actually my band performed earlier in the week for the city of Plainfield for their Kwanzaa celebration. So we were ready to go.
Nice.
Yeah. Big shout out to Storm Norm from BKS1 Radio. And that was a great event. We would but things have changed that drastically in just 3 days.
Yeah, I'm so tired. If you can't tell, I'm just exhausted.
And then they run out of tests.
They run out of tests. The turnaround time to get your PCR test has quadrupled from 24 hours. Now, some places are 5 days. You have city MDs closing for some reason. So it's just, it feels like officially March 2020.
Right.
And my anxiety just can't handle it.
Yeah, it's a lot to ask for people to go back because we were thrown in. If we had known what we were going to be thrown into, there would have been this type of resistance then. So yes. I get why people are like, nope, we're not shutting down. Let's get our last little bit of money. Let's get our last little bit of groceries. Let's get our
And let's
last little
go.
bit of Lysol and wipes.
Mhm.
Who knew we needed to get our last little bit of tests?
Well, hopefully, I saw a report today that it appears like in South Africa, the Omicron curve is starting to come down, and that the cases have been milder. The problem is like there's so many cases. Like 1 minute we're planning holiday celebrations and the family's coming over and we're going to see the Christmas show and all these other things, and the next minute is everything is closed, not because the city or the state said it should be closed, but because everybody's sick.
Yeah.
So the hope is that this variant is mild. Let's fingers crossed that we'll get through this. But I'm tired.
Yeah. And I feel
Tired.
like I believe that this is something we're gonna have to live with, like the flu. And back then, before the flu was a flu, it was live with it, but they lived with it. We have lived with it.
Mhm.
I
We
just
have.
don't like the stupid. I'm tired of the stupid, tired of the people that won't get vaccinated so we can move forward. Get it.
Yep. You know what else is also bugging me? And I was thinking about this the other day. Like, I'm
What?
tired
The
of.
fact that the Jasmine brand took our
No,
interview
I
and
wasn't
chopped
thinking
and
about
screwed it
that.
up. Oh, I thought
No,
that's
I
where
wasn't
we.
thinking about
Oh,
that. No,
my bad.
that's not where we were going. I was thinking about the fact that you have companies who refuse to release their patent on the vaccine so that other countries can duplicate it and make their own vaccine. Meanwhile, all of the major Western countries are hoarding vaccine, and here in the US, nobody really wants it. So why aren't we sending it to countries that need it so it'll stop mutating and hopping on planes and going different places?
Is that what's happening?
Mhm.
So it's a money game.
Of course.
It's always a money game.
If Michael Sean was here, he'd be right with me. It's a money's game. And it's very sad and it's unethical.
It's pathetic because most of the people that have most of the money in the world are boring fucks. You wouldn't even, like, if you kill all of us, if we die because you're not sharing the vaccine or whatever it is,
it's going to be so boring.
You're going to die of boredom because y'all are the squarest, tightest, frigidest, rigidest, corny motherfuckers on earth. You're good at making money, but you have no friends. You'll be here on earth alone because all of us funny people, i.e. I'm Mrs. Claus, will be dead. So pick your poison. They said die. I
don't even know if I have words today.
Because it's too real. I don't choose to know everything. I like to sometimes just stay in the dark, in the dumb dark. Because what's going to happen is going to happen anyway.
This is true.
Do I need to see the train coming at my face?
Some people do. Yeah. Some people literally need to see the train, the plane, the brick, the boulder that's rolling down the hill in your direction. Some people really do.
Yeah, but sometimes it don't hit them, it hits their kid.
That's true. So you have to be really careful, or it hits your car and now you're stranded. So, you may not have a personal physical impact, but it is going to impact somebody around you. Every day this week, I got a phone call about a close friend or family member that's positive. Every day this week since Saturday. And my kid is back home virtual school. It's been a tough week.
Yeah, well, I don't even know if Jalen will be going back after the holiday. They've already extended his holiday vacation by a week because they're trying to wait it out and see. I'm like, he spent a year and a half at boarding school, boarded up in his room.
Yeah. Wow.
And no, go.
And that's traumatizing to kids. That's traumatizing to young people. It is. And we wonder why they're acting out.
No, because we was boarded up too. They acting out because they spoiled as hell. And we need to bust their ass.
Old school, right?
Right. We're not giving them a pass for that. That's why they acting out. They acting out because they need their asses busted. Fuck them kids. You know what I say. You know how I feel. Other than that, is anything going on in the world?
I swear I saw Megan Good and her husband supposed to be getting a divorce, which I find very surprising.
He filed for the divorce. Why?
Well, it says it's a mutual decision. I'm not sure why. I've seen nothing that says why.
That's decent and respectful for them to say it was a mutual decision, though.
It's a mutual decision. So that's
No, I don't know that it really is a mutual decision. I'm saying
Right.
it's decent and respectful for them to come together and say that.
It's sad though. You never want to see a couple, dissolve their marriage. And they're like, there's nothing wrong. No one did anything wrong. We're just like getting a divorce. So that happened today. Also, Joe Biden.
No. You don't have comment now.
You sure? I'm just checking.
It's not like she's Beyonce level. Like,
what difference does that make?
Because you're saying that because you're afraid I'm going to offend some of the artists that we might need on our new radio show. But I'm like, as long as I leave like the A listers and like the B+ listers alone, we should be good. Okay, so I'll frame it like this. Look, I am who I am. Let me get this shit out my system before I start working for real.
Go ahead.
That's more realistic. I was just gonna say, you remember Megan used to be one of our more weight-friendly, looser friends to the room? She was out there. She was like.
So you're thinking maybe she's bored?
No.
And this is
I'm thinking that it's the typical, we see who we want to see when we get married. And then when we see who they are, we realize that it's not aligning with who we are or who we'd
like to be. Yeah.
He might be positioning himself for something big in the church.
And I think that's very true. I think he is definitely doing that. And maybe while she don't want that a believer, while she's a believer, she might be like, I don't know about all that. So
right. Leave me with my la-la.
And that's enough of a reason, I think, to consider moving on. I heard you. And that's enough of a reason to consider, moving a change on. What else happened? So Joe Biden has extended the pause on student debt from Jan 31 to like March 30th or something along those lines.
Yeah, I heard Charlamagne went at Kamala this week. I don't know what platform it was, but he was questioning her about all the promises they made and nothing coming through. And why do Joe Manchin, whatever the hell, you're not the Joe that's the president.
And so that was the question that he posed to Kamala.
Like, who do you think he is? Because I watch Scandal, and I know that when people get out of order, no, this is real. Scandal was a movie, but it was based on the real stuff. And when people don't go according to the plan, you wind up with your car blowing up, and nobody knows why. And it's, oh no, we had to get rid of him because he was about to make the president look stupid, and we couldn't have that. Get Taraji and them on the phone. Taraji and Carrie. And Carrie and them on the phone.
Yeah, I don't. So he was on his show, and she was a guest, and they had a decent interaction, and then he had posed a question, I think jokingly. So who's the real? So which Joe is the real president, Joe Biden or Joe Manchin? And to be fair, it was a fair question because I don't know what happened to Joe Biden's spine. But Joe Manchin seems to be calling all the shots these days, and she got offended, for lack of a better term, and said, don't start talking like the Republicans, and I'm the vice president. My name is Kamala. And it was just like, all right. Where's all this same energy when you're speaking when you're
talking about voting rights and when the Republicans.
Where's all that energy, and I'm not a Kamala or Kamala basher at all. I'm not necessarily, she wasn't necessarily my first choice, but like, just pump your brakes a little bit. You sound a bit defensive.
In the words of Mrs. Wallace,
just be still, man. Sit down.
And settle.
Quiet.
Settle down.
Settle down.
Derrick is here. Derrick is here. I'm going to let him in.
Excellent. This should be fun.
Yeah, and so should watching this whole Joe Biden, Joe Manchin. Yeah. We're going to come up with a top 5 what his name should be. Superman.
What's going on, ladies? What's going on?
Well, happy holidays to you. Welcome to the show. Let me tell everybody. So Derrick was listening or watched the episode, I guess, or maybe you see me on IG. Anyway, you reached out because I said I have a
Mhm.
name your price end of year special if you want to come advertise. So he actually reached out. He was like, I'm an author and I have this amazing book. And he sent me the information about the book, but I was like, there's no way I'll be able to discuss the book as well as you can discuss the book. So why don't you come on the show? And here he is,
Love
ladies
it.
and gentlemen. Welcome, author Derrick Bonner.
Hey, well, first, happy holidays, ladies, and
Yes, same
Thank
to you.
you.
I really appreciate the opportunity to come on, and I'm a big fan, and been
Thank
checking Miss
you.
Jones since forever. This is really like a wow moment. But I guess we'll get down right to the nitty gritty. I'm Derrick Bonner. I'm an author. Hail from Brooklyn, East New York.
Nice.
Well, actually, I don't want people who are going to see this. Oh, he's right. As soon as we started having babies, we got a little crib in the burbs, but I still go back down to Brooklyn all the time. I don't want nobody looking at me like, no, he didn't.
Listen.
Still repping East New York, still out there in the houses, still, hanging out with the fellas. What's up, everybody?
So how did you become an author? Like, where did that come from?
Okay, if you see me look down at me so often, because I didn't want to like miss a beat, because I know, I don't want to forget everything. So basically, how it first started, that Toni Morrison, and I guess could sum it up for you best, when she had made a quote like, "If you don't see a book out there that you want to read, write it yourself." I've always, coming up in the '80s in Brooklyn, I've always felt like, we always got like a bad, rap. When you see us in the movies, we're always either gangbangers or
up to
we're
something.
either on drugs or selling drugs, or it's never a good look. And I grew up in the projects. And I can tell you right now, we had a beautiful community. We looked out for each other. Of course, we had our problems, blah, blah, blah. But it was a tight-knit community. And I never liked what we looked in those, in those movies, and even on TV shows, except for like maybe one TV show I grew up with, I'm loving, because I'll be 53 next month.
Wow.
So there was a show called Man Called Hawk I used to love when I was a kid.
I remember that.
It was a brother, okay, and bald-headed brother, smooth, dressed impeccably, played chess. It was just on point. And I loved the way he looked. And I loved the way he helped the community. And it got me to thinking, I'd love to see a story like that. So I came with an idea called Havoc and Mayhem. It's basically, the story is about a guy named Tommy Strong. He's from Brooklyn, in and out of jobs, and happened to walk into a bodega one day to give him a little spiced ham and cheese sandwich. Walked into a robbery, and just without even thinking about it, jumped in, boom, boom, stopped the robbery. The owner of the store was so, impressed by what he did. He let him get whatever he wanted off the shelves as a little payment. He goes back to his girl. He's like, babe, I did this and I got that. Jokingly, she said, well, why don't you make that, a career, since you're not really happy with your job? He took it seriously. And because growing up in Brooklyn, I know for a fact that we didn't always want to run to the police for every little thing, because we were scared of the ramifications.
Right.
So I kind of incorporated fantasy and reality. And I thought, what if this guy polices the hood for a fee? What if he helps out people? And then I could include like different situations, domestic abuse, chasing off the block, the guys on the corner, give him a call, give him a couple of coins, boom, boom, boom. And it's funny. He juggles women while he juggles his career. And all that comes, to a boiling point. Of course, you always have to have your little drama. When he's left in charge of his little sister who has special needs. At the same time, all these people who he's rubbed the wrong way are now coming for him. So now you have to protect his little sister with special needs while he's out there in these streets trying to duck the nonsense and still try to do what's right by Brooklyn. So it has its high moments, its low moments, but it's a real fun story.
I like that it has layers.
Yeah.
It has layers.
The best stories and the best TV shows have layers, have different storylines going. I love that, Derrick.
Love the way I really want a TV show. This is the first book right here, Havoc and Mayhem.
Nice.
And I've been selling that on Amazon. It's been doing really well. The sequel right here is Havoc and Mayhem, and it's a series, The Trouble Consulting Chronicles. And I've been doing pretty well with that on Amazon. The book's been selling. It's a great stocking stuffer. And as you can see, I'm very 80s. You can see, got my Kangol on. They got the feet. Sometimes my wife is like, okay, baby, bring it down a bit. Bring it down a bit.
No, you are who you are. He is who he is.
Right. you know, got my Rakim shirt on. That's just who I am all day, you know.
And
I
the
love
fact that the fact that you described this, the food he was eating is so timeline specific. Spiced ham and cheese, that was the lunch meal.
That was the thing, yes.
Yeah.
For $2.50
you,
at the bodega.
And see, that's the thing in the book, you know, in addition to the layers and the characters, I mentioned the music was going on. I put a lot of references into Kane, Rakim, Third Base.
Nice.
I talk about the clothes we wore. You know, I'm real descriptive about the clothes, from the Lees to straight leg to
the Adidas with fat laces.
I do all that, but I don't overdo it to make it seem like, okay, we get it. I do it in a subtle way, and it's just a real timely kind of period piece.
Right.
And it's crazy because when you think of period pieces, you think about those old school England kind of joints when they walked around with the umbrellas out in the day and all that. But actually, the 80s is a period piece. You know, it's a back in the day situation, and that's what I did.
Well, I must say, it gets great reviews on Amazon. It really does. I pulled it up. Yeah, powerful read. A perfect book for the 80s hip hop babies. So yes, it gets very good reviews. So I encourage everyone to check it out.
Oh, please do.
Can you please show us again?
Oh, definitely. Okay, once again, Havoc and Mayhem. And you know, and some people say, well, it's kind of thick. And I said, well, you get more book for your buck. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to give you a couple of pages, be like the 80s, the end, and pay me. Right. No, you know, it's a nice thick book. I'm working on the third. Nice. As well as I'm about to put out in February another book called Alley Cat, which is a Black love story, and that's going to be out in time for Valentine's Day as well as Black History Month. So I'm working on that too, and I'm just out here on my grind, you know. And it's crazy because, you know, I probably put a lot of facts into these books, so you know, like the things that happened to in Howard Beach and stuff like that. And sometimes I'll be sitting there and I'll just get real tight because I'm like, wow, the stuff that we've gone through as a people, but we're strong, you know, and I try to incorporate that also because, you know, here's the thing, we have a lot of stories out there. I'm not knocking nobody's hustle, but a lot of the stuff that we're putting out there kind of like glorifies a lot of the stuff I'm anti, you know. So I like to show that different. I like to show a different, you know, side of the coin. You know, there's so many other stories we could tell,
and we need to, need to, because now that with social media and cameras, we didn't have that back then. So we need people like you to tell the story.
Yep.
Ms. Jones, can I tell you? I mean, I'm like, when I first wrote this first book, this was back in the 90s when I first started doing my research, and then I had a little lag with it. My first book, Alley Cat, and then I met my wife, and she got me to get back into it. But the point I'm getting at is, back then, on my lunch break, I would go into Barnes and Nobles, and if I couldn't afford to buy the actual book, I would get my little yellow pad and jot down ideas, or I'd go to the library and do my research on different things that were going on. Now, everything on your phone, you can get everything.
Yep.
You know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, how we've come, you know, where we've come at, you know, with this technology is crazy.
And I don't resent the new generation or the current times for having that type of access, but because you have that type of access, people should be doing more research instead of just surfacing stuff.
You would think, but hey, you know, I don't know, not nobody else. Some people just feel, you know, everything is at my fingertips. It makes people fall back even less, you know, and they feel like, whatever. Where we had to, you know, mostly get on our grind back in those days, you know, and make things happen more. And it's a lot easier for them. So I guess they maybe take it for granted. I don't know, but
I'm glad that the book is thick, because people would be complaining if it were thin, saying, oh, he's trying to suck us in. But it sounds like I'm glad it's holiday time because people have downtime now to actually read it. So
we're about to go under lock and key again, so we'll have plenty of time to read it.
Yeah, we just got from out of that. I hope we don't, you know, go back into that again. You know, that was this past year was a rough one, you know, and I'm hoping that, you know, I mean, you know, it was a rough year for me, and I'm ending it on a high note by doing this right here, because this is a blessing right here, hanging out with you ladies right here, and this opportunity, and I'm loving this right here.
Thank you.
And thank you. And I really hope that the next year brings all of you guys and everybody out there, you know, much success. And I guess at the end of the day, life, if anything, this pandemic showed, life is short. So if you have a book in you, an album in you, or anything, a store opportunity or anything, go for it.
Get
Because
it.
you never know. You
just
never know.
don't.
I mean, I don't want to be, that person that, is like shoulda, woulda, coulda,
Yep.
And it's happening, and slowly but surely I'm getting some good reviews on the book. People are
Mhm.
buying the book. People are showing me love, and, and I'm just keep going on,
Well, we're
Excellent.
glad that, look, you're the best guest for our close out the year show.
Yes.
Oh, I'm closing out the year.
You are closing the year.
You're the closing the year.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
We appreciate you. And again, I look forward to actually reading it because I'm a reader and I get stuff on my Kindle, but I like turning pages.
Right.
Yeah.
This
so
is a page turner, Miss Jones. This
Yeah.
is definitely a page turner.
Good.
Check out the reviews and you'll see, I mean, I don't even know these people,
Right.
I mean, I'm not going to front in the beginning. There were a couple of cousins that bought the book and went on there in the beginning that showed me, you got to do that. But where it's become now, no, I don't know these people. These people have sent me text messages and stuff. When is the next one coming out? And I'm feeling this. And like I said, because the clients that the character takes on, I deal with, like I said, domestic abuse, all kind of stuff that, that people can identify with.
Everybody can find something in there.
And he handles it in a street kind of way, and people really feel like that, and it's been a good look so far for the book. Oh, before I even forget, because I know I got a lot to squeeze in before I'm out of here. The website, it's www.havocandmayhem.net.
Is it Havoc AND Mayhem or Havoc and the and sign Mayhem?
Good question. AND.
Okay.
HAVOCANDMAYHEM.net. You can also just go straight to Amazon. Just type in Havoc and Mayhem. Type in my name, Derrick Bonner. It'll pop up right there.
You guys can see it right here.
On my website, please check out the website. My wife made it, and didn't even know the first thing about it. It's always kings out there. Get you a good queen, and she will uplift you. Because it was days I was like, nobody's really trying to hear me. I mean, you already got your Harry Potters and your Powers and your True to the Game. Nobody's checking for me. And she said, well, what makes them any better than you?
She's right.
What makes them any better than you?
And your story, the way your take on the story and your take on that time period is only yours.
Right.
Only mine. But I'm sure a lot of people can identify with it. And if nothing else, like I said, I just want to show us for a different way in the 80s, because the way we would portray the 80s, it's not a good look. We were more than just Jerry curls and either on drugs or selling drugs. Nah. I mean, like you guys ever saw The Wiz?
Of course.
Okay, I'm not, I obviously dumb question. One of my favorite parts of The Wiz is not even everything else when him and them eating Mike and all that stuff, but the opening scene when she has the dinner, that big table, that's singing and Big Mama coming around. And I grew up like that. I grew up around families like that. And that's the 80s and the 70s for me. And I'm like, they don't really show us like that in that kind of aspect. And I'd like to change all that. But I have stuff like that in the book. Big families, a lot of love, funny stuff. It gets to be a little hectic sometimes, as life is, but it's a fun story. And I think we need some more of that.
I was telling my sister today, she was like, I forget how it came up about us sitting around the table for dinner. And I'm like, nope, we don't really do that. She's like, you don't sit around the table. And I'm like, we don't. You know why? Number one, the difference I think now is that, first of all, the kids are so distracted. They probably they don't want to be sitting anywhere talking. They are sitting, but they're on their phones or they're on their tablet or they're on their device. Secondly, there's so much homework nowadays and there's so much activities and sports after that all there's really time for is for you to sit down and eat and let mom go catch up with what she has to work on.
It's true. I mean, we were coming up, I remember back in the day, McDonald's was like a treat. We got a home cooked meal and we were at the table every night. It done flipped it. Now, if you get a nice little pots and pans meal, that's a big deal, because pretty much every night is Buffalo Wild Wings or something like that. It's like,
because it's the quick option.
And that's stuff like that. I'm saying that's stuff like that also that's in the book. I go back to that old school vibe that we used to have. and
That's
and
excellent.
it tugs at the heartstrings, and it's a good look, and I've been, like I said, I've been getting a lot of love, and trying to go farther with this, and we'll see where it takes me. But coming on a shows like this, I know it can only help, because I mean,
Aw.
wow, I'm hanging out with you ladies here.
We're glad
This
to
is a
have
blessing,
you,
lady.
and we get to say
I'm
we
glad
had,
to be
and we
here.
get to say we had you first,
This is
Hey,
true.
and we get dibs on the movie roles research. We gotta.
Listen, why not?
It's the same my wife always said, from your mouth to God's ears.
There you go. There you
Yeah,
go.
I said it right. From your mouth to God's ears.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's listening.
We
I'm
put
sure
it
he's
right in the
listening.
universe and let it work itself out.
There
Show
you
us the
go.
book one more time and give them
One
the
more time.
information where they can purchase it.
Okay. These are the 2 books. I'm working on the 3rd now. And I know that, like I said, people have been reaching out to me for the 3rd. I'm working on that now. Havoc and Mayhem, Major Havoc, www.havocandmayhem.net, or just go onto Amazon, type in Havoc and Mayhem, type in my name, Derrick Bonner. It'll pop up. It's great. A great stocking stuffers. It's only $20. I mean, actually, I'm going to put a sale on it actually in another day or so. So it'll even be a little cheaper. And I mean, show me some love, support Black authors, support Black literature. And God bless everybody. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. You enjoy your holiday, and thank you. We appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
I look forward to reading it, and I'll be giving you my feedback through the email.
Oh, come on now. Ladies, it's been an honor. It's been a privilege.
Thanks,
Nothing but
Derrick.
love.
And tell your
Thank
wife we
you.
said happy holidays too.
Yes.
Black at you, ladies. God bless.
All right now.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I love that. We used to have a lot of Black authors come on the show when we were on Hot 97, and
We
they've all gone on to greatness.
We did lots of firsts on that show.
Yeah, it's just that
Lots of firsts.
there were no videos, there was no
Mhm.
YouTube, there was no anything. So we didn't really get to document it like things are being documented now.
Yep.
But it's okay, because things have a way of evolving.
And there's a lot, I don't want to say too much, but like there's a lot brewing.
We'll be back. We'll be back.
There's a lot brewing these days. And so, from our mouths to God's ears. So
That's
we'll see
right.
what happens.
I agree. So listen, ordinarily we'd go probably for another half hour, but look, I had surgery.
How are we
Yeah.
feeling today?
I'm a little tired. And my face, I tried to cover it, but my eye is black and blue, but from the surgery.
Mhm.
So I want to go rest, but I wanted to do a year-end episode, because you guys always make me feel so loved and wanted and appreciated. I want you to know that I respect your time. And I realize you could be watching anybody, and you could be taking the time to leave comments on anybody, but you leave them for me. So Merry Christmas, everybody. Please, please give yourselves the gift of a good mask.
Yes. A
And
good
wear
one.
that bitch.
Please. Please.
I'll be on IG.
She'll be on IG. She'll be on IG, y'all.
Yeah, we might have to do a live, like a live from the
say
living
that.
room.
I say it that way because, I had insomnia the other night. It was like 2. I couldn't sleep. So I scroll and she's on IG. And I'm like,
Was I?
yes.
What was I talking about?
I don't know. I said I couldn't stay because I didn't want to get all wrapped up in it. I didn't want to get you probably pissed
They
about
was
something.
asking me about my face, and I said Swiss beat me with Alicia's keys.
Nope, not going there with you tonight. Sister. It's the end of the year. Happy holidays and jingle bells.
Bye. Bye, people. See y'all later.
See y'all guys in the new year.
Thank you, Derrick Bonner.
Yes.
Havoc and Mayhem is the book. Go support. Get me out of here. Max, hit Ed.